All right, Tanya, welcome in. Ryan Trengrove for your Class A Pro. I'm recording. Good to have you, my friend. Looking forward to work today. All right, let's see what's happening here and see if we make some progress. I get up every day with golf and I think, can I be 1% better than yesterday? You know what I mean? Because if you keep making 1% improvement over time, you become really good. This is my lowest handicap this year. I'm at a +4 now. Last year, I was a +2.5. So it took me 1 year to improve a stroke and a half, you know? But that'd be great. If by next year I improve another stroke and a half at my level, that'd be amazing because then I'd be a +5.5 and then I could win state tournaments. You have to be a +5 or greater, you know? Isn't that crazy? I know, but that's like the mindset with golf is like each day it's like, okay, what can I take, you know, or what can I do today that's going to then make me better in my next game? You know what I mean? All right, let's see where you made contact because you're saying there's no marks on the club. Oh, you're towing it. Look, the reason there was no mark when you started out was look where the contact is on the club face. Do you see it?
So what am I doing?
So, well, the first thing would be, with toe shots is are you falling toward your heels, right? And if we look, the trace is going toward your heels. Do you see it? So remember how to read this graph. What this is that's your right foot, that's your left foot, right? And this squiggly line is what your center of gravity did. And what your center of gravity is supposed to do is go across the dotted line. And so instead, you're going down toward your left heel early. So if you think about it, if you're lined up on the balls of your feet and you go to your left heel, what's going to happen to the club is you're going to hit toward the toe. Now, the other thing is potentially if you're hitting toe shots, the other thing in question would be is your distance away too far, And so, for example, let's look at like I don't know Lydia Ko. And see what Lydia Ko is doing here at the setup with her with an iron here. Okay, so that's where she is. Yeah, it looks like your arms are hanging outward more than hers. Do you see how her arms kind of like hang down? And so probably what's happening here also is you're probably reaching outward instead of having your arms hang down, right? And so we want they call it the arm hang. We want the arms to be in the triangle shape, but we want them hanging, not reaching. So it's good to kind of like let them, you know, hang like this. So I think you had two things causing toe contact, which was first the distance away, and then second the balance. Basically, on the balance beam that we were working on, you would have fallen off the back of it before you hit the ball. Are you with me? Okay, so now let's take a look and see. Now let's look at the last one was your best hit, right? That was the best one. Okay, so let's see what happened here. Yeah, same problem here. Look at the pressure trace. Yeah. So just to revisit the pressure data, this is kind of a fun one. So there's this pro out of the South, right? And it's funny because he works. Listen to this real quick here. Watch this.
I think I looked the other day. I've helped roughly over about 37 tour guys that have been full exempt tour players over the
This coach helped 37 PJ Tour players with their game.
course of my career. My full-time players that I teach currently are Russell Henley, Chris Kirk, Brennan Todd, Harris English, Boo Weekly, Stephen Bowditch, Tom Gillis, Will Claxton, Joe Durant. I've got 4 or 5 web guys, and then I got some other guys that I'll jump in there and help every once in a while. But it's I got a pretty good stable of guys. That's about all you can teach the ones that I teach full time. So
I'm going to jump right into this, Scott. One of the very first things that we noticed together was all your players all sort of basically had the same trace, and
They all have the same trace. He's got 37 PGA Tour players, and every one of their pressure traces look like this. You see the pressure trace? Look, straight across. Look, if you switch to other players in here, there's more than one player. Look, another straight trace. Look, more straight traces. Look, more of them are straight across. Look, every one of them. Look, another one. They all go straight across and then down to the heel at the very end, right? And so it's not a surprise to him, I'm sure, that that's what they're doing because that's how we get center contact. And that's ironically, as you know, that's also what I do with my foot trace. Like when I was showing you, if you remember from last week, the pressure. Where is it here? on this one here. See how my trace goes straight across and then down. And so it's really important to have that. And so look, your pressure, you're going straight toward your heel is what's happening here. And so we're going to practice the foot pressure today in a moment, but let's look at everything else, see if you're doing the other things well. So let's see, the V of the grip, left hand crease. Okay, good job. Right hand crease, good. Ball position seems fine. Okay, so now from here, let's put some lines up on the screen in just a moment and see what's going on. And here we go. Okay, and so let's see, you go straight back. That part we like. The plane is good. You're taking the club straight away. So let me go over here and trace the club. And I tell everyone with the swing cat, we're trying to determine each time what to go practice and work on, and then go work on that. And then you should make progress because it's based on science when we see it on here, you know? And so let's take a look and see what happens with the plane and so on. Okay, so you're coming over top here on the plane, right? So remember, the swing path is always, we call it straight back and then inside out path. Are you with me? So my coach did this for me years ago. He'd put the stick down like that, right? And this always helped me a lot. So we go that way in the backstroke, right? And then on the way through, it goes that way. Do you see? So we go straight back and then where? And then inside out path. Are you with me? It's not a straight line both ways. Are you with me? Okay. And so that's why when you look at all the players here out there, let me just take you through this here. When we look at like Freddie or, you know, any of these people, let's look at Freddie Couples here a second. There's a cool little tracer video. Here it is. Remember? But he's not the only one. They all do this. Like if we look at Adam Scott, this is at Rivera when I was there a couple years ago. I filmed him. And so he goes up the blue line, and then when he comes back down, as you'll see here, he comes back down underneath the blue line. You see how he's, right? And so they all do this. And so what's happening here is your lines are crossed. See how your purple line, you know? Okay, so let me send that to you. 1 second here, Tanya.
So can you put a big no on there?
That's funny. I know, right? Let's see here. 1 second here, Tanya. Okay, let me send that to you. Okay. So that's the path that we want. Okay, now let's take a look and see here. Okay, now at impact, okay, so what's happening, you can see it actually. Look, you're putting your left heel down early. You see your foot? So remember, we go to the left ball of foot when we're hitting, and then we go to our left heel going through. Are you with me? Okay. Now the face of the club looks actually very good. Look at the club face. It's very square. So that's a positive. You see the club face? Nice job. The grip's better and you're supinating better here. That looked a lot better with the club face. And then when you come through around you finish. Okay, so basically what we should be doing here today is trying to get you to get the pressure onto your left ball of foot at impact. And then also make sure that you're doing your swing path, right? And then you'll probably be hitting some better golf balls. You know, look at this. In this shot that I hit for last week, balls of feet at the setup, right? Balls of feet at the top of the swing, right? Balls of the feet through contacts. Yeah, that's the ball of my foot I'm on. And then I go to my left heel. You know, so I'm on the balls of my feet until I've made contact, and then I finish into my heel.
But I do shift, though, to the left.
That's right. Left ball of foot. That's right.